Hello, this is Yogendra Singh back again with numerical problems of H.C. Verma, chapter 1, electric field and potential. This chapter is very important for the children, those who are preparing for IIT, JEE and NEET. It will also help to clear your concepts from electrostatics. So let's start with question number 1. Dimensional formula of epsilon naught. Since F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r square, that is expression of force. So if you take epsilon naught as a subject, then that will be 4 pi f q1 q2 upon r square. For dimensional formula, you should take dimensional formula of charges. They are at, so a square t square divided by, for f, mlt minus 2, and for r square it is l square. So m inverse l to the power minus 3, t to the power 4 and a square, that is dimensional formula of epsilon naught. Because so many questions are given, so we'll discuss a few important questions from the chapter. So here we are going to discuss question number 8. What is it? We have two charged particles placed 1 centimeter apart. What is the minimum possible magnitude of electric force acting between the two charges? You have two charges placed 1 centimeter apart. We have to calculate minimum force between them. Magnitude of charges are not given. Now for minimum force, charges should be minimum. So that is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So you can write 9 into 10 to the power 9. Here we have electronic charges. Minimum charges, electronic charge. So square of this divided by 0.01. Square. 1 centimeter means 0.01 meter. So square of this, which is 2.3 into 10 to the power minus 24 Newton. Now question number 9. Here we have to calculate number of electron in 100 gram of water. H2O, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So 100 gram of water is equal to 100 upon 18 moles. And how many atoms in 1 mole? 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, that is Avogadro number. So number of molecules, number of atoms in this 100 gram of water will be this much mole, that is 100 upon 18 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Now number of electrons will be equal to, because one atom carries 10 electrons, 8 oxygen, because 2 we have hydrogen, so 1 into 2 electrons from hydrogen. So total 10 electrons in 1 H2O. Therefore number of electrons will be equal to this number of atom into 10 electrons. So two things we have to calculate in this question. Number one, number of electrons. So this value into 10, and total charge carries. We know that Q is equal to NE from quantization. So you have number of electrons. You should simply multiply electronic charge into that N. Now question number 15. In this expression, F is equal to force, F is equal to C e to the power kr upon r square. We have to calculate dimensional formula of C and K. So let's start. As we know that e to the power anything will be dimensionless. So there is no dimension of that value. So you will get dimensional formula of F will be equal to dimensional formula of C upon dimensional formula of r square. Therefore, C will be equal to, dimensional formula of C will be equal to F into R square. So your answer will be ml t to the power minus 2 into L square, that is into L square, that will be L cube. And what will be its unit? It will be Newton meter square. Now for second, how to calculate dimensional formula of K? Because Kr, e to the power Kr is a dimensionless quantity. So K into R again will be a dimensionless quantity. If it is dimensionless, that will be equal to 1. So dimensional formula of K will be equal to dimensional formula of 1 by R, that is R inverse. So it is equal to L inverse because R is length, distance. And what will be its unit? That is meter square. That was part A. And what in part B? In part B, this nuclear force C is equal to e to the power minus kr upon r square. Taking that force is equal to electrostatic force between two protons at same distance. So that will be 9 into 10 to the power 9 E into E divided by R square cancel. We have to calculate C in that problem. So C will be equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 whole square upon E to the power minus KR. So children, K is given 1 Fermi inverse and R is given 5 Fermi. If you put Kr here, so that will be 1 into 5, 5. So e to the power minus 5. So it becomes 9 into 10 to the power 9, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 whole square e to the power 5. So this will be your answer. You can calculate that value. How will you calculate e to the power 5? That is away. Let x is equal to e to the power 5. Now taking log on both sides, log x is equal to 5 log e base e. Log e base e is equal to 1. So x will be equal to anti-log of 5. Question number 17. There are 4 charges placed at 4 corners of a square of side A. Each charges have magnitude 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb and the side of the corner is 5 centimeter. So we have to calculate force on suppose this charge. Due to D charge, it is acting on this side, repulsive force Fd, which is equal to this. Due to B charge, it is again acting away from the charge Fb, that is equal to Fd. And due to this charge, as diagonal is a root 2, so this is Fc and that is equal to k q square upon 2a square. So we have three forces acting on that charge. We should calculate resultant force acting on the charge. So how will you calculate resultant force? We should calculate force along x-axis because it is a square, so that angle is 45 degree. So Fx will be equal to Fd, that is k q square upon a square plus cos component of Fc, because if you resolve Fc along horizontal, that will be f cos theta and that is f sin theta. So Fc can be resolved along x-axis with f cos theta. So that will be equal to k q square upon 2a square and cos 45. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2. Similarly, Fy will be the same. 1 is Fb plus Fb is k q square upon a square plus FC sin 45. Sin 45 and cos 45 are equal to 1 by root 2. So fx and fy are equal. And what it will be? We can take common kq square upon a square. So 1 plus 1 by 2 root 2. That is fx and fy. To calculate a resultant force, because these two fx and fy are acting at right angle, fx along x-axis, fy along y-axis, so f will be equal to under root fx square plus fy square. Therefore that can be calculated k q square upon a square root 2, and this will be equal to 2 root 2 plus 1 upon 2 root 2. So this is resultant force. How to calculate direction? Let resultant force is directing theta degree from horizontal. So tan theta is equal to fy upon fx. Both are equal. Therefore 1. So theta will be equal to 45 degree from horizontal. Question number 20. There are 10 charged particles placed at 10 centimeter, 20 centimeter, 30 up to 100. 10-10 सेंटीमीटर के गैप पे पड़े हुए हैं. Calculate force at 1 coulomb placed at origin of the coordinate system. Because all charges on the line of x-axis, so forces are acting due to, because all charges are positive. So due to this positive charge, it is acting this side. Due to the second, it is this side. So all forces are acting left to that. So net force will be equal to, because all are directing along the same, so it can be algebraic sum of all. So F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F10. So net force will be equal to K common. K is 9 into 10 to the power 9. Charges are here 1 into 10 to the power minus 8 divided by 0.1 square, 0.01, plus 0.1 is 10 centimeter is 0.1 meter, plus F2. Similarly, that will be 8 into 10 to the power minus 8 divided by 0.2 square, that is 0.04, plus 27 into 10 to the power minus 8 divided by 0.09, and so on up to 1000 into 10 to the power minus 8 divided by 1 square. After solving this, 9 into 10 to the power 9, you can take common 10 to the power minus 8 this, and here 10 to the power minus 2, so that becomes 10 to the power minus 6 common. So 1 upon 1 is 1, plus 8 upon 4 is 2, plus 27 upon 9 is 3, and 4 up to 10. Now 1 to 10, the sum is equal to how much? 55. So 9 into 55 into 10 to the power 3 Newton. That will be the net force acting on the charge and directing along minus x-axis. Along minus x-axis. Question number 25. Two balls are suspended with two threads from a common point as shown in figure. The angle between the two thread is equal to 2 theta. Now from vertical, angle from one thread will be theta. So you have to calculate mass in that case. How will you calculate? Both the particles have same charge. Now force acting on this charge will be repulsive, and that is K q square upon, let that distance is equal to r, that is not given, theta is given, so we can calculate r upon r square. There is a force acting in the thread that is called tension. If this angle is theta, this will also be theta. So vertical component of T is T cos theta and horizontal component of T is equal to T sin theta. So T cos theta balances mg and T sin theta balances mv square upon r. So T sin theta is equal to k q square upon r square, that is f. And what is T cos theta? It is equal to mg. Here in that problem we have to calculate m. Divide them. You will get tan theta is equal to k q square upon r square mg. What is k? K is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 or 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. We have to calculate m here. So m will be equal to k q square upon r square g tan theta. Because r is not given, so we can calculate here. Look at this triangle. In that triangle, sin theta is equal to, in this triangle, this is perpendicular, this is hypotenuse, this is base. So sin theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is r by 2 divided by L. So r will be equal to 2L sin theta. Now that r can be replaced by 2L sin theta. Here m will be equal to k q square upon r square, that is 4L square sin square theta g tan theta. That tan theta can be written as sin upon cos. So m can be written as k q square upon 4L square sin cube theta upon g upon cos theta. So here you will get cos theta. This will be your answer. Question number 27. Two charged particles q and 2q, A and B, are placed at certain distance. That distance is d, small d. A third charge C is to be placed in between such that net force on any of the charge will be equal to 0. The whole system will be in equilibrium. So you have to find number 1 position of the particle and number 2 magnitude of charge in terms of small q. So let us assume that the point is here, point C, at a distance x from A. So if to calculate position, to calculate that value x, if it is x, then this distance will be d minus x. So number 1, to calculate x, we should check net force on C will be equal to 0. So due to this positive charge, it is acting away. Say F1. Due to this charge, it is directing away on this side, F2. Now to calculate position, F1 should be equal to F2. What is F1? It is K. Small q. Let the charge is capital Q divided by x square. What is F2? Force between these two charges. It is K 2q capital Q upon d minus x whole square. Now kk cancel, q small q capital Q cancel. Taking a square root on both sides, so you will get root 2x is equal to d minus x. Now x will be equal to d upon root 2 plus 1. This is position x in terms of d. Now to calculate magnitude of q, B part, to calculate magnitude of q, that question is very common. It is given in different ways in different reference book. So you should understand. Now to calculate magnitude of Q, you should check force on area of the charge of this or this. Let us check force on this body. So due to this charge, it is directing away, and due to this charge again it is directing away. If we are using that F is positive, so both are acting in the same direction. Now net force on C, to calculate magnitude of Q, net force of small q should be equal to 0, or net force of 2q will be equal to 0. So either calculate force on this charge or this charge. So net force on this will be equal to F1 plus F2 should be 0. What is F1? F1 is force between these two charges. So it is K small q capital Q upon x square. What about these two charges? It is K 2q q upon that distance, that is d square, is equal to 0. Take common, replace that x by d. So that will be d square upon root 2 plus 1 whole square. So we can take common k q upon d square. So here you will get capital Q into square of that value, that is root 2 plus 1 whole square, plus here 2q will be equal to 0. So q will be equal to minus 2q upon square of this, and square of this will be 2 plus 1 plus 2 root 2. So it is equal to, that becomes 3 plus 2 root 2 minus 2q upon 3 plus 2 root 2. This is the magnitude of the charge given on C. Answer is not matching from the book, so you have to rationalize. On multiplying, if you multiply root 2 minus 1 upon root 2 minus 1, then you will get x will be equal to, that will be 2 minus 1, that is 1, and this is root 2 minus 1, so that will be d root 2 minus 1. So take that value of d here, you will get slightly different answer than this, or you can rationalize here also. That is q is equal to 2q upon, if you rationalize, that becomes 9 minus 8, and here that will be root 3 minus 2 root 2. So you answer that is 1. If you multiply this, then it will be q minus q 6 minus 4 root 2. Now your answer will match. Question number 32. Two charges capital Q each placed at a distance d along x-axis. A particle small q is placed slightly above along y-axis along the direction of perpendicular bisector. X distance पे यहाँ पे है. Now you have to calculate total force. So there are 3-4 things asked in that problem. Number 1, if it displays through a displacement x perpendicular to this, calculate electric force experienced on that. So how will you calculate that force? Number 1, due to this charge it is directing away, say F1. Due to this charge it is directing F again away. Their magnitudes are same because charges are same and distances are same. That distance and this distance, they are same. So if this is x, this is d by 2, then that will be under root x square plus d square by 4. So F will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, that is k capital Q small q upon square of this. So x square, in fact 4x square plus d square and under root square root of 4 is 2. So here you will get 2. So that is f. Because that f will have two component, let that angle is theta. So this, if this is theta, this will also be theta. This will also be theta. This is also theta. Now these f will have two component, f cos theta and f sin theta. Similarly for this f sin theta and f cos theta. So f cos theta and f cos theta, they are equal and opposite, they will cancel. So resultant force F will be equal to 2f sin theta. What is F? F is equal to K capital Q small q 2 upon 4x square plus d square. And what is sin theta? That is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So it is x upon that distance. So it is x square plus d square that will be 4x square plus d square divided by 2. So 2 will come in numerator here in this way. Here this is 4. That will be 4. So F R will be equal to 2 ja 4, 4 ja 16, K capital Q small q x upon 4x square plus d square to the power 3 by 2. That will be the resultant force acting on this. This part was first part. Now what is second part? Second part is, if B is very much greater than x, then prove that force is directly proportional to x. So here if D is very much greater than x, so x square can be neglected. If x square can be neglected, then you will have b to the power 3 only. So if R will be equal to 16k, k is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, capital Q small q x upon d cube. This means FR is directly proportional to x. That you have to prove for that particular case. Third case, prove that if this will be displaced slightly, that particle executes simple harmonic motion if released freely. The third part is, under what condition will the particle C execute simple harmonic motion if it is released after such a small displacement? So the condition will be the charge should be negative and that displacement should be very small. So if it is negative, then forces are directing towards each other. So resultant will be directing downward. If displacement is upward and resultant force is acting downward, then only it is possible to execute simple harmonic motion. Now your diagram will be like this. B, charge is capital Q, this is x, and the charge, if charge is negative, then force is acting vertically downward opposite to the displacement. What will be the force? Force will be exactly equal to the same, but direction will be just opposite. Here force acting on the particle will be equal to, for x is very much smaller than d, F will be equal to minus 16k capital Q upon d cube into x. If mass of the particle is small m, then acceleration is equal to minus 16k capital Q small q upon md cube into x. You know, for SHM, acceleration should be directly proportional to minus of displacement. That is, A is equal to minus omega square x. So if you compare, A is equal to minus omega square x. So here, because A is directly proportional to minus of displacement, these quantities are constant. So we can say that body is executing with simple harmonic motion. If you compare this by omega, then omega will be equal to 4k capital Q small q upon md cube, and t is, you know, omega is 2 pi by t. So to calculate time period, t will be equal to 2 pi upon omega. Omega is 4 under root k capital, sorry, square root of m d cube upon k capital Q small q. So that will be its time period. One more thing can be calculated. Look at these two charges. As the charge is at center, means x is equal to 0, there will be zero force acting on the charge, because these two forces are acting opposite to each other, they will cancel. And if it is far away from that, from the system, that is x is very much greater than small d, x is infinite, then force will again be equal to 0. That means at center 0, at infinite 0, there will be a position in between where that force is equal to, force will be maximum. Similarly, the same concept can be used for electric field. Electric field, due to these two charges, here will be 0, and at infinite it will be 0. But there will be a point in between from this point to infinite where electric field will be equal to maximum. So how to calculate? Let us understand the concept. We know that force will be equal to this. Now for maximum force, dF by dx should be equal to 0. Fr, because we are taking resultant force is equal to Fr. dF by dx should be equal to 0. So take that expression here, that will be equal to d by dx of, what is constant in that expression? 16k capital Q small q is constant. You have d by dx of x into 4x square plus d square to the power minus 3 by 2, and that should be equal to 0. How will you differentiate? If this is equal to 0, that value should be equal to 0. So it will be differentiated like this: first function into differentiation of second, that is minus 3 by 2 4x square plus d square into this minus 1, that will be minus 5 by 2 into differentiation of that, that is 8x. First function into differentiation of second plus second function, that is 4x square plus d square into differentiation of first. So differentiation of x will be equal to 1, that is equal to 0. Take common, 4x square plus d square to the power 3 by 2 can be common. So what you have in remaining here, that will be minus 3 by x. 3 4 ja 12 x square upon 12x square divided by 4x square plus d square. This is with power minus 3 by 2 plus 1 is equal to 0. Let us check again. This x into x square, 2 4 ja 8, 4 3 ja 12, x square into minus 3 by 2, so that will be minus 1, that will go to the denominator, that will be equal to 0. So 12x square is equal to, that will be equal to 0, is equal to 4x square plus d square. That will be 8x square is equal to d square. So x will be equal to d by 2 root 2. That will be your answer. 2 root 2 is square root of 8. So x, this will be the position where electric field and force will be equal to 0. Question number 42 is also based on the same concept, maxima, and there are many problems given in your book. To calculate maximum force or maximum electric field, there you have to solve in this way, कि df by dx will be equal to 0 or de by dx will be equal to 0. And we have solved question number 39, question number 41, question number 64. They all have been solved in my video to calculate electric field due to a ring and due to a rod. So I am going to calculate question number 40, that is based on electric field due to a semicircular ring. There is a semicircular ring, have charge q, radius r. We have to calculate electric field at this point, at center of the ring. So if we take small element in that ring of dq, theta angle from horizontal, then electric field, this element is very small, so d theta will also be very small. So dE, electric field due to dq is acting away, that is dE. So dE will be equal to k, charge on dq element, dq upon r square, that is expression of electric field due to a point charge. So because that dE is directing with a certain angle from horizontal, so they will have two components, dE cos theta, dE sin theta. Let us calculate vertical component. What about dq? How to calculate dq? As this charge q is distributed over the semicircular ring, so dq will be equal to charge per unit angle. What angle that arc will cover, that is pi. From this end to this end, total angle is pi. So charge per unit radian is pi. So q by pi into d theta. So dq will be equal to q upon pi into d theta. So dq can be replaced by q d theta. Let us calculate vertical component. EV is equal to integration of dE sin theta. So dE is, and limit will be from 0 to pi, because this arc is varying from one end to other end. If you want to calculate electric field due to small arc, then angle may vary from 0 to theta. Of arc theta you can also calculate. You can calculate from 0 to 90 degree also. So only you have to change the limit. Now E vertical component will be equal to dE, K capital Q upon pi r square is constant, you can take outside. Theta is variable, so integration of sin theta into d theta, limit from 0 to pi, integrated, it will be equal to K capital Q upon pi r square. integration of sin theta is minus cos theta, limit 0 to pi. Now k capital Q upon pi r square minus cos pi. Cos pi is minus 1. So minus minus plus 1. Minus cos 0. So cos 0 minus minus plus cos 0 is 1. So it becomes 1 plus 1, 2. So E vertical component will be equal to K capital Q upon pi r square into 2. That is E vertical. If you will calculate resultant along electric field along horizontal, that is E horizontal, so that will be integration of dE cos theta 0 to pi, and that will be equal to 0. If you will solve in the same way, you will get E horizontal component 0 in that case only. If you will take some other range, then that may vary. Horizontal and vertical component may vary. But because we have two components here, E vertical, E horizontal, and they are vertical perpendicular to each other. So E will be equal to E vertical square plus 0 square. If you have some finite horizontal component, you will take that EH here, that finite value of EH here. So this will be equal to EV. So E vertical, E will be equal to E vertical, that is K 2Q upon pi r square, directing which side? Directing downward. Directing downward.